You don't need to work the character out. The character, however, is seen through as just the character, not who you are. You could go on for billions of lifetimes trying to work the character out, the psychology of the character, the situations. You can never make, and you can never create circumstances of life to always be peaceful. Because inevitably we're all going to die. And more than likely, the physical death of the body will be painful. The body hurts. When you hit it, it hurts. Things are going to change. You're going to lose things. This is life. Life is never going to be reliable. It's never going to go how the mind wants it, ever. But when you stop having ideas about life, it always delivers. When you stop thinking it needs to be a certain way, trust me, it always delivers, because it's always here. Everything is accepted in it, because there's no expectations of any way it should be. Whatever you see in me is you. Whatever you see in any of this is you. Therefore, how can you ever blame anyone? Ever. They are what they are. How can you ever feel guilty? Because you are what you are. Always. You never did anything wrong. And nobody ever did anything wrong to you. The character might feel that somebody did something wrong to them. But this isn't true. Nobody ever did anything wrong to you. It was just life happening. The tree just grows. And it might grow into another tree's space, and that other tree might begin to wilt and die. But it's not personal. It just grew. Didn't think, I'll grow and do this. And the same with the characters. The characters just act out their story, and the suffering comes when you think you are the story and you're controlling. If you could control, you would stop suffering. If you can control life, and control it right now, control the next thought you have. Who and what is controlling? Where is that controller? If you can control, make yourself happy. Make yourself react a certain way in situations. Who is there? Thoughts come from. You think that you have certain thoughts that are good thoughts. I mustn't think this is a bad thought. But that thought, I mustn't think this, I mustn't go down that line, it's suffering. Where is that thought coming from? Nowhere. Try and find that one's place. Is that you? All of them are coming from nowhere. There's no you thoughts. The one that thinks that it can control something is coming up from nowhere and falling back into nowhere. Find its place of origin. Does it come from somewhere? The thought, I'm going to control this situation. I'm going to tell everyone to go and sit down now and be quiet. But that thought and that action just came from nowhere. Just arose and fell away. It came as impersonally as the thought, I hate that person, they're so rude. It just came up from nowhere. And what happens in the apparent liberation process, and it's always apparent, the liberation process, because at the end of the day there's only ever this moment, but in the apparent story there seems to be a seeing through of all this, a seeing that there's nobody there. Not all the time, as I say a million times before, some people just wake up like this and it's all seen. There seems to be a gradual seeing that all of this is coming from nowhere, from nothing, and falling back into nowhere and nothing. I'm going to make this happen. This is just a thought, an action coming up, but it comes from no one. Who is there? There's no one there. It's an illusion. The most divine illusion. Oneness has hypnotized itself to believe it's true, so it can find itself again. So it can find itself in objects, in apparent objects, apparent people. And then finally in liberation it finds itself again. The greatest love affair. The greatest. This is a story of love. This really is. It doesn't appear that way when you're suffering. I understand this, but it really is a story of love. The suffering comes when oneness hypnotizes itself as believing it's two. Suffering is then born. But because of that suffering, it creates a seeking for itself. And in that seeking for itself, it finds itself, which is love, absolute love. It's a divine game. It blows your mind if you try and think about it. It's beyond the thoughts of two. It's a divine love affair. You're never alone. You never suffered. You've always been complete. You've always had everything you ever wanted and needed. It just appeared that you didn't. But that's just an appearance. We're all lovers. We're all love. Absolute love. And this game of separation is always to find love. Even if that's in the latest, hottest pair of shoes. The seeking is always seeking for love and avoiding fear. This is why romance is so high, because it highlights this love so clearly, more clearly than the shoes. Life is a game of love, a game of the heart. I mean, look at it. So I'm looking out the window and we've had rain late into the season here. So everything's beginning to really flower, really flower. So we have out of the ground this green stuff that grows, and then these amazing colour come out of the top. This amazing colourful form come out of the top. Then these little things with wings fly along to these colourful balls, and then take something from the colourful balls and fly off to the next one. I mean, look at this world. It's beyond what anyone could imagine. It's beyond. The mind takes it for granted, though. Well, I think I'm out of talking now. I love this chair. I always seem to record my videos in the same top. I do have different tops. Although, I really like this top. It has bugs on it. I like bugs. And birds, I like birds too. What's this? Oh, it's a human. Huh. I didn't realise the human was on here. Thank you.